We need more peers, more great minds to steer this ship. Open up more ears and eyes. The clearest skies will shine light on the better ones. So keep your heads up, cause there's bright days ahead of us. Rise up, together we'll form crowds. Never slow down, we'll dissipate the storm clouds. Reach down and touch the fire that burns inside. Let it burn, cause together we'll turn the tide.
Hey, we're OnBeat, and this is Cousin. I'd like you guys all to meet him. He's got a pizzeria, and what else was it?
Pizzeria and an ice cream shop.
And an ice cream shop, and family in Slave Lake. We're out here today, hip hop in the park, and he has graciously announced that he's going to be giving all the proceeds to his new CD to Slave Lake for some of the relief funds. So I'm going to let you talk about that, Cousin, and tell OnBeat who you are, what you do.
Yeah. I've already been introduced by Cousin. I'm Mohammed Moallam. I'm a Slave Lake resident, born and raised. I was actually expecting to release my debut album for free in the next month or so. With the way that everything had come about in Slave Lake, I decided to just make a donation tab. It's available right now. It's available on Bandcamp. It'll be available on all the major digital distributors soon. And yeah, I just decided, you know, if you want it for free, you can have it for free. If you want to donate anything for the album, then you can donate whatever you want, and 100% will be going to help rebuild Slave Lake. There's a lot of people there that need the support, and you know, being a rapper from there, I figure that you know, the way the things come together, I'll do my part to help out as well.
Your music, what's it all about?
It's about everything. It's pretty eclectic. It's got, as you may have seen my set, there's a bit of variety in there. It's a lot of the traditional new school hip hop, but I also like to pick up on more social issues rather than you know, the traditional, the girls, the cars, the money. So I do a lot of music about, you know, whether it's poverty or social issues or you know, abuse, anything really that people can relate to. I mean, any town you go to, it's going to be a universal message that gets sent. You know, you can rap about. I'm not saying I've never mentioned a girl or a car in my lyrics, but you mean for the most part, you try and find the topics that are real, that cross borders. You know, being a Muslim, an Arab Canadian, I just as much think about that side of the world when I'm making my music as I do about Edmonton or Canada. Or, you know, you gotta cater to what people want to listen to, but at the same time, you don't have to dumb it down for them. You know? The people that want to hear it will find you and they'll hear it.
What are your hopes for the proceeds for Slave Lake, and what are your hopes for Slave Lake in general?
My hopes for the proceeds, I have none. I've seen the gracious donations that have been made by everybody in Edmonton and West Loch and Athabasca, all across Alberta, all across Canada. I want to, you know, whether it's I'll gain from it obviously, because maybe a few more people will get to hear my music. But you know, if it's $100, if it's $1,000, if it, you know, if there's some generous people there with a big checkbook that are here today and say, you know, I want to make a big donation, that's all a bonus. I wanted to do it just goodwill, just like everybody else. We were affected by it, but it doesn't mean that we can't do our part. You know, we can't rely on everybody that wasn't affected to help us when we're still healthy enough to help ourselves.
Yeah, interesting that you say that, because just because you're affected by it doesn't mean you can't do anything or you're helpless or anything else like that. So it's not a sympathy thing. It's just
definitely
it's
not.
happened.
I mean, it's you know, God's will was to destroy that town. It'll be our will that ultimately brings it back up to where it was and better. So you can't, you know, you feel bad for the people that had lost their homes. But 7,000 people were able to get out of there without any serious injuries. You know, it's a blessing.
And what about your take about the other reservations and smaller towns that are being evacuated right now too, and how they're doing, and whether or not any of this is going to affect them and how Slave Lake relates to them?
I think they'll learn a lot from what happened in Slave Lake. I guess you can call it a guinea pig, because now they might be more attentive to the situation and not just kind of brush it off as, you know, every year we get a forest fire. This one, you know, it resonates. You know, it was trending on Twitter all over the world. I mean, that's one thing you can take from it is the smaller communities around are going to have the information out. They're going to have hopefully the resources that are in Edmonton or in Slave Lake, from all over Edmonton and Calgary and all over Western Canada, all over Canada. If something happens in one of the smaller communities, then hopefully you have the people there that got the education the hard way and are willing to nip it at the bud if it spreads anywhere further.
And your hope for Slave Lake and for your family?
My hope for Slave Lake is I'm confident that it'll grow. It'll get, we had the flood, and we had the flood in the 80s and the flood in the 30s. Whenever we face adversity, you're not going to rebuild it worse than it was. You're gonna build it better. So, it's going to take a couple years to rebuild, but if you look back 5 years, 6 years, you're going to have a community that's just as strong. The people in the community, the core of the community is still going to be there, and they're going to be more resilient, and they're just going to keep on pushing. It's a small town, but I think you've seen recently that it's a good town. It's full of good people. It's full of leaders, and I'm confident that it'll grow to be bigger and better than it was prior to the fire.
Your CD, how do they find it?
How do they find it? Right now it's available on bandcamp. I just put it up there, so it's Cousin Hip Hop, COUSINHIPHOP.bandcamp.com. And it'll be available all over, whether it's iTunes or Amazon or Spotify. It'll be available on all those outlets, and hopefully some plastic will be out as well in the next month. And 100% of the proceeds will be going to the relief efforts in my hometown of Slave Lake.
Any shout-outs?
Shout-outs? The people who put this together. Dawn has done a tremendous job. All the volunteers that have helped them, Omar, Kaz, Melissa. And shout out to everybody who came out today. Shout out to Slave Lake because they made me the humble guy that I am, and a lot of what I am I can thank my hometown for. So that's the last shout out. Shout out to Slave Lake.
And can you do a shout out for OnBeat?
I can do a shout out for OnBeat. OnBeat.
It might take you out of the rock day, that's